I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is being recorded and it will be posted on our YouTube channel. I will do take roll. Roll call. There we go. Julie. Here. Terry. Here. Justin.
Here.
Derek.
Here.
Amanda and Bridget are out today. So. All right, moving on. We have an adjustment to the agenda to add action item 10.5 to approve resolution 24-2501. Just that. And now public comment on non-agenda items. We do have one, Don Johnson.
I'm just here asking for clarification on the personal electronic device policies. My grandson got admonished a couple of times last week in regards to it. The first was after school, while he was waiting, would have been waiting for the bus. He was trying to get a hold of his mom to find out what he was supposed to do. And was told he couldn't have his phone out. So he asked, and she asked, what are the parameters, and was told during school educational time. She looked up the policy, I looked up the policy, that's what it says. During educational hours, phones are to be off and in their backpacks or in their lockers. It was after educational hours. The next day, he was again trying to get a hold of his mom to find out what he's supposed to be doing for sure. And he got told again, he could not have his phone out on the school grounds while waiting to find out what it is he's supposed to do. The educational time was over. The policy says from start of school to end of school. So I don't know if there's something in there that we're missing that we need extra, that there needs to be clarification on, because that doesn't seem fair for him to be given a warning for something, especially when he was told after the first time. No, it's during educational time. The other thing I just, on reading the policy, was curious about is it says that the students are not allowed to have access to their personal electronic devices and social media apps at school-sponsored functions. And I'm wondering how we're going to police that.
That's not correct. So anytime, so it is instructional time. So, and clarification for that is if there is licensed staff at that juncture in the afternoon, then you can prohibit the use of cell phones. I will talk to them. We do that until they get on the bus. Once they're on the bus, then they're out and good. But once they enter onto the building, with an instructional time actually starts at 8 a.m. for us, for the district. Whether we eat breakfast or not, we're supposed to have instruction during breakfast. So 8 a.m. to here it's 3:10, over there I think 3:25. But I will address that. And it really depends on, that's a very big gray area. But the other one, we can't prohibit outside. I mean, if there is a student using their cell phone during a football game, that's not in our preview. So if that being the case, if that is the case, then I will address that. It does say licensed staff, but it definitely says instructional time. So that's, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be the supervisor at a football game tonight, tomorrow night, Monday, Friday night, supervising kids and being a cell phone.
Right.
And that's not where we're at. So unless they are using it inappropriately in social media, then there should be no, we should not be prohibiting students from using cell phones at extracurricular activities. So I will address that. And because it does not state anywhere in the, actual policy that we do.
You're reading it again tonight, so I noticed it's one of the policies that's out to be read.
Right.
And that's what it says in the handbook, both at the middle school and the high school, that they're not to be accessing social media on their personal electronic device during school times or at school-sponsored activities.
Well, okay, social media. And again.
I just don't know how you could possibly police that.
Right, well, we can't.
Yeah.
We can't, and there's no way. You know, we can prohibit phones from being in here during, at attendance, for example. We can prohibit phones from being here to dance. But prohibiting phones at a football game, is not, number one, it's just not reasonable. Well, it probably wasn't the intent. But any change of the PED it just had to be in the law, right? But it can be amended at any time. So that would be one that we would definitely look at that. I mean, I don't see us wanting to be cell phone placement at football games or basketball. Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, but dances, yes, because like I said, because that you're in a confined spot, et cetera. And I think when it says social media, I would say inappropriate social media. And again, we wouldn't know that until someone reported it. So that would be whether we have a personal, whether we have an actual policy against that. I mean, like I said, I think that would need to be tweaked. So that, yeah.
Yeah, that was just my concern. We're trying to get
Legitimate concern.
him off to a good start
Yeah.
and encourage him to do what he's supposed to do,
Right.
when he's supposed to do it.
Okay. I
And we're
appreciate,
getting conflicting messages.
I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. So for school dancing, do we have policy? I mean, is there a plan for?
Well, it's part of the Maple student handbook. Now, it doesn't have to be part of the high school student. So if it's not, then, that would be it's part of this student handbook.
But for a school, for a dance, the evening, how do you round everybody's phone up?
If they were to bring it, we'd put it in our lockboxes. We'll just put it in our lockboxes, or they can go right to their lockers. Same thing. And then, of course, if one asks, can I use my phone to call mom or dad to come pick me up? Absolutely.
Okay. So it's the same with the bus line.
Absolutely.
Bus line.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I should ask them about leadership on that, use their phone for the playlist and music and dances. It's like,
Right.
when they have music, but I can't have my.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. So I don't think that it's prohibited here. And again, high schoolers that's a completely different thing. And I don't, but you can't, if there's exceptions to the policy, obviously that would be one. You have a playlist on your phone, that would make sense if you would have, because that's how you do it. So yeah, we'd work through that. And we knew there's gonna be glitches and all sorts of, and then we'd have to amend the policy pretty much as it goes.
So to tell a student here the correct way, if you're at the end of school, we need to get hold of your parents. Is it to approach the supervisor? and go, "Hey, I need to call my mom"?
Yes, every one of us are in, if I'm here, I mean, but every employee or every staff member is in this gym.
Right.
Yeah, I've been, during that time, and I had 3 kids asked to go use their cell, but you gotta go to the office.
Right.
Go to the office, you can call on our phone, or then give your cell phone out, but again, yeah.
Not make it a 2-second call. but-
Right, no, yeah, but we are not letting them use them in the community area.
Okay,
So what he needs to do is go and ask whoever is
Yes.
supervising them, and they're going to tell him,
Yes, that's exactly what I do. I
or should you tell him to go to the office? Which-
They might, that's what we do.
Okay.
That's what we do here, and it should be universal. And I think that is what we need to instruct. And because honestly, that's the best process. And the kid knows what they're supposed to do. And I think that clarifies it, and I will help clarify that. But I do think that just generally speaking, this 5 days we've had school, we have not had an issue. I have not seen a cell phone at Macon Middle School, which is absolutely amazing. And it's gonna happen, right? But, it's been awesome. And there has been no rebuttal. Kids are doing what they're asked to do, which I'm pleased. And I think for the most part, the high school has been successfully, but I guess it's gonna have to be some tweaks because they're older kids, so.
And there public agenda. Entertain a motion to approve the consent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch the girls play golf.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All against, say nay. None. Motion passes. Fiscal overview, at least here. So,
You guys probably read her report. The only thing that you guys have in front of you is a little highlighted, resolution adoption. ODE had sent it back and they wanted us to make one correction. And that's on the instruction piece. They want us to remove, if we took $1,000 off and put it under support services, so it raised support services from 4,459,428 to 4,559,28 and minus the other one. So we just have to do on a resolution 252401 so that we can send this back to, but it did not change the adopted budget that we had already has been approved. And she just wanted to tell you that they're all done. And then, and our auditors have been here and we did fantastic. Like they were really proud of the work that Lacey and I put in. After last year having things that we had to fix and things, we did all of that. So they were very happy to get that done.
all right, any questions? Keep on, superintendent report, Steve Perkins.
So ZCS will be here next month, to review timelines, scope of work, and then opening up the bids for contractors, all that, so that they're going to come in kind of this information on which he will do monthly, kind of just to keep us updated, on how we're doing it and where we are. I can say that with the help of Dawn, the 24-25 audit is almost complete. I mean, we're there. So, and the 23-24 audit was actually completed last April. So we're 8 or 9 months ahead of where we should. Where we should. I mean, we're way ahead. Because they have to be, but basically, it's December 31st to get them in, which we did last year, but it was not a actually completed audit. They had their auditors never got finished a good job. So we got that done, but things are in great hands. Fortunately, because I think Lacey might be out for a while. But that part is done, so that's great. Lastly, it's been a good start to the year, including cell phone usage, or non-usage. Enrollment is up slightly, which is great. We are currently over 550. If you look at the books, it shows 565, which is too high because we don't have 10-day dropouts yet. So 10-day dropouts, we've kind of counted probably 10-ish, which would put us at 555, but over 550. The budget is projected at 535. So, as you all, if you don't know, on the first actual ADM number comes out October 1st. So if we were to hopefully have 550 on October 1st, we would be very good shape. So I'm really happy with that. And up to 39 kinders as of today, which projected, we didn't know where we were going to be. Could be as low as 30, and it'll never, I don't think 39 is a good number, which replaces the kids that graduated. So I was afraid that we were going to go negative. We got to go positive and go through right. So it is positive, so that's a positive 6. So, and that doesn't mean that we still might not get it. So, and we've had kids here in Maple 4 or 5 in the last 3 days. So we are, Maple's at 47, 46, 46, I believe, 45. We have got another 8 Maple today. So good numbers across the board.
Well, that took care of Carrie's and Amy's report, I think.
No, somebody just jumped on and scared me. Uh-oh. I mean, and yes, my report made you see.
Yeah, I mean, we're tight, and I think, down the road, and we're gonna have to consider it in the spring, because we do have an over 50 number coming up. They are 4th graders now, is that right? Correct. Those in the 4th grade, and 5th grade is decently sized. The 150 plus number, is not, it's doable. But I think it would be one of those where we would need to we're gonna need to look into getting a portable thing. I think a portable is the way to go. It will sit right there very easily. There's a spot for it. It could become a room. It could be it could be the boardroom. It could be the choir room. Right now we have 42 in here, choir. Which that's doable. I mean, if you get to 50, it's not doable. And Jen is pushing very hard. You're trying to recruit because ideally she wants it split. And ideally it would be split. Ideally it would be a 7th grade choir and a 6th grade choir. To continue, if we're gonna continue growth in the music program, which is great. And then because, while she's in there, Megan Hunter's in here with 33 7th grade pairs. So, it's tight and doable. Yeah, but another, if we, if something, and Carrie and I are gonna start kind of looking just to see where they are. The good thing about the modular here, just already paid. Right? You don't have to do much of the prep work. And
It's close to the building.
right, it's close to the building, so you move it in, move it out, you have electricity, you have water. It wouldn't, like I said, it would probably be very cheap. Fix. Of course, I don't really ever want to move the 6th graders back over. I just, I really don't, I really don't think that's good for them, but this setting is perfect. And those little 6th graders have very quickly become, part of this, school and enjoy it. And what a great group it is. So, so I hate to, ever go back to where we were. Go back to moving the 8th graders to the high school, or, whatever it is. It's just not ideal. This is ideal for this district.
Do you foresee, needing to split in the future, each grade into classes at all? Because right now.
To go to 3?
Yeah.
In the 6th grade, unless you're pushed, 25 is normal. 25 is normal, 26. You get to the 27, 28, 29. So now you're at 58, but then you divide that down. It's hard to say, okay, we're gonna go down to 19,
Yeah. That's
right? I mean, it really, it's better, for me, it's better to put a professional in there, supporting the classroom than it is to open up another classroom and going back down to 19. I mean, that's hard to justify, honestly. Rather than having, you could put an EA or IA in there, to support. These are pretty good sized classrooms. That's the good thing. These are pretty good sized classrooms. So, if you went over that, if you were to ever go to 60, then you have to start thinking about it. Because that's a tight, hopefully that happens. Making those kind of decisions those are good ones.
That's not a bad problem.
No.
All right, equity committee.
So the law states that we must have an equity committee in every district in the state. The ESD was supposed to put together a program in the last year and a half to help out. Well, their first meeting is Thursday. which is really not enough time to do much. So, and they're having night meetings, which I try to talk them into not doing that because you just can't, it's such hard, you know. People don't want to go to Coos Bay at 6:30, stay there till 8, come home. I don't. So make it, either make it a Zoom opportunity or don't have it, or go back to having them during the day. One way or the other, I put together an equity committee that basically the idea is inclusion, right? That's the whole point of equity committee is inclusion. And ensuring that we are educating the underserved. Okay, in Myrtle Point, we do not have a lot of equity. Or, I mean, we don't have a lot of different makes of people that are affecting life. We have social economic issues. So our equity is poverty. And how, you know, what can we do to ensure that that we are properly serving our underprivileged kids, which I think we do. But we have to have ways to do it and meet a couple times a year saying, what are we missing? What can we do to help those people? Do we have racial issues, those kind of situations? Not necessarily. But because I think we do have nearly 100% inclusion. But again, you have to make sure that you cannot have a board member on it, which is sad because I really thought Bridget would be great. I mean, from private person. Okay, so right now, and I will add as we go, myself, the administrators, Kaylee, because she does all of our McKinley Bento, and works with the homeless kids. Dan Whitaker, Carl Hartzell, Asian population, Alyssa Stoddard, who's a classified employee at the high school. Ahaya Ellingston, Breast, Cash Miller student, and Pam Royer from the prison. So that kind of represents, and I need to find a business person that would be willing to serve, as that part of the population. So we'll continue to add and kind of go where the state tells us to go and what we need to do. Right now, it's meet a couple times a year and just kind of brainstorm, what are we doing, what are we doing to make sure that we're serving the underprivileged population. So that's the whole point of it. When you talk about for the public or some of those, they got issues, right? That we don't have. So, but that's not saying that we shouldn't be prepared and do the things that we need to do. So I know here's a good example. We have a preschool child who doesn't speak English, ELL. We really don't have an ELL teacher. So we're going to have to figure out how to get somebody bilingual, try to hire, have someone come in, a parent or something, maybe our valedictorian last year, something, some person that we can hire for a couple hours a week because right now it's just, they're in there, hopefully learning something. But their first language is not English. So, that's a first for us. We haven't had that. So we'll go through that process, but it's going to happen, right? And we just need to be prepared and how we're going to prepare it is important. So those are the people that I have contacted that will serve. And if anybody has an issue with that.
Steve, are there any Hispanic people on the equity?
What's that?
Are there any Hispanic people?
No, but I'm in the process of reaching out.
Okay.
And when I add, I will come back to the board and ensuring that they are part of the equity. So yeah, I'm trying to find given that population that's bilingual. So something that's willing. I think Alyssa speaks some Spanish, but she's not bilingual.
And is it just, current students or can it be community members?
Community. No, community. Yeah, absolutely. So Julie, if you have a name or know of someone, send it my way.
Okay.
That'd be great. Yeah, yes. An actual, just a citizen would be perfect.
Any questions about the equity committee? All right, let's move on to board and district rules.
Those are just to peruse, look at.
All right, so the board goals are in the packet. Is there any questions or any discussion about the board goals?
I was wondering if, or how they're evaluated, if there's like something like, you know, a report card for the objectives that we can look at from a year-to-year basis.
So we do an evaluation of the superintendent. So normally what we've done in the past is we pick one or two goals for him to focus on. And then he will report back to us with those goals in mind. He will go, usually goes over all of them because he's an overachiever.
And artifacts that show that, you know, the data that shows what we've done.
Okay, and from the current year and previous years?
Correct.
You can see the,
Yeah, what you're gonna see in the, would be when we review them, you know, I kind of go over and highlight the things that we've done to reach those objectives.
So with that, if there are any of these board goals that you would like to put top priority, or would you rather have just all of them?
does anyone remember which were the focuses from last year?
We did it different last year.
Yeah.
We used the OSBA's book, which was like, there's 8 standards in it. And then they just picked 2 to, this would be more like what your guys' goals for the district are about. This is what you guys want to see happen over the year. The evaluation is then, when we get to that, like which will be next month, and I just gave you guys a copy. This would be what you're going to grade them on. But these are just specifically goals that you guys want to see happen in the district or been changed. That's for all of you. It's not just Steve, but it's for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
What's our biggest?
Mhm.
Is there any of these that we're having a particular problem with, that we should focus on more?
I think always communicate better with family and community engagement. I think you can always communicate better. I mean, I'm saying we're doing a bad job. I'm saying it much better than it have in years past, but that's, most people I talk to is that they're asking questions because they don't know, they can't find the information, don't know where to find it.
I agree, and I think, but this is more of the activity side of it, you know, Jamie's doing a great job putting stuff out on Facebook. But I don't know that we are, getting things out like for academic reasons.
Right.
That kind of situation, you know, whether, and I think we could add that to the play, I mean, add that to the, you know, the activity are great.
Right.
But we need to put some things in there that we're doing academically, you know, so people know.
And on the website, I'm gonna tell you from a person that had my 25th anniversary, high school anniversary, only 5 of us showed up because it was only on Facebook. Most people don't use Facebook. I mean, we do, but it's better to have it.
And we have been doing communicating everything.
Yeah,
so
okay, that's, okay.
But obviously, communication is huge.
I personally would like to see, more focus on, under the first goal, the middle bullet, those achievement gaps for underperforming student acceptance. If I look at that bottom quarter up, I noticed in the basis report that our Myrtle Point School District has dropped below the 15% poverty, which I think is great. And I think it's a statement of how good it's doing.
And currently, we don't segregate those as much as we could. So, and that would be something that, you know, isolating that, the actual data with that subgroup, and, you know, and putting that information out, but that's sometimes scary. Putting, you know, this is our poverty group, right? And this is how they perform.
Yeah.
And honestly, like it's, but I think in most situations, definitely here at Maple, testing all three grades, right? And we've already tested for reading, we tested for math now, and we have those data points. It's hard to get those data points in high school. Because they don't have all, they don't have those particular data points in the reading and so it's a little bit harder for them to have an assessment or data. Whereas the grade school, K-8 does have all of that information. It's very, very important. But closing the achievement gap is huge. And like I said, I think, and definitely, I think the biggest thing is being able to add, ensuring that they're getting what they need and maybe getting more.
Yeah.
So, and we're trying.
The district board goals. Superintendent evaluation time. Any questions about that or? Hearing no questions. Move on. Superintendent board working agreement.
Boilerplate, like. Boilerplate.
I was just thinking how nice it is to have OSBA have these boilerplate documents that not have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, Carrie and I went through this, and we deleted some things, that my first 8 years, I never had a work agreement, because I didn't get any. And honestly, I don't think I need one, but because it's like the Northern, superintendent, just for the separation, we have enough. Was given 2 weeks notice, and that's just how this business works. But it is nice to have a little protection, and not necessarily protection, but being able to talk to each other civilly. Having, and I think all of you know, you have the ability to call me anytime if we really have a question occurring, and that I will tell you whether you like it or not, the answer. So I think that, but that's a work, for me, that's the working agreement. We agree that that's the way it's gonna, that's the way it works, and that's how things really do work. It's when they start undermining and becoming, it's hard to deal with someone that you don't know where they're gonna come, right? And like I said, these jobs, there's a lot of them. And some people, and a lot of them have problems with their boards. I've never had that issue. But the agreement, like I said, it is nice and it does give, it says some, pretty good stuff in it. But we edited and deleted some things that I just didn't feel necessary for this group of people.
But also, we have to have a working agreement that you're going to be respectful of
Right.
each other.
Absolutely.
And nothing ever gets done.
That is correct.
All right, any questions, discussion about the superintendent? Working agreement. First reading of OSBA policy DBBA IGBAB/JOs -AR IKM JFCEB JO/IGBAB-AR and JOA. Doing. Oh, I'll let you do that later.
I guess. When did they go into effect? Or when do we go?
So this will be your first reading. The ARs you guys don't vote on those, those are actual administrative rules, so that if it, like up here where it says, regulation,
Okay,
that is just Steve providing those to you with, for you to review.
okay.
And then, he could actually make those go into, in like tomorrow, and then I send it back to SBA. But if you guys, you'll do a first reading, and then if you have any questions or discussions, you can bring them back at the second reading. And then at that time, you guys can take action on them, and then they can go into effect then.
So the administrative regulations are required to go into effect immediately.
Yeah, yeah, if they're required.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Steve makes all those decisions on those, but we've always, in the 3 years that we've been here, we've just reviewed that with you. We don't take action on it because then if he changes something, he has to bring it back to you every time. If they don't take action.
Any questions or discussion regarding the first reading of the OSBA policies?
And the only thing I want to ask, because I learned at one of my meetings just recently, a lot of the board secretaries will take it after the first reading, because if nobody had any questions or anything, and I'll actually prepare it to look like it's going to look when it goes to OSBA. So when you have the second reading, you're seeing the actual clear document.
Okay.
And I just want to know if that's kind of what you guys want to do, because if you do, just, I know it'll take me, no, to the next 3 weeks, to get these all cleaned up, so that you guys can see the actual, you have a copy of what it's supposed to look like, and then you'll have a copy of what it should look like.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. I gotta do it anyways.
Yeah.
I have a question about. Do I read the code? IGBAB dash or slash JO dash AR. The education records of students with disabilities management. Is this all students or just students with disabilities?
I think this is all students, yeah, it's all students, and sorry, I had to kind of clarify, I didn't read the top sentence for myself, it is all students. But most of the changes that were in here, I think, had to do with, disability, something, to do with like the 10 business days, or, because there's a lot of regulations that we have to have records out to them by within 10 days, but sometimes that's not always said, yes, it is, but, it was pretty big, there wasn't really a whole bunch of changes in here.
No, I just saw a few where it's like the place of birth is deleted. And so I was just
Yep, because that's a, for,
wanting to make sure that was for all the students.
yeah, no, it would be for everybody, it's very good.
Any other questions? Questions?
And one, hang on a second, Kate.
Okay.
One thing, just for those who've never done this before, so doing on this very front page, the one that's got the, has the direction, like these, the over. If you look at those and you go in and you'll see where they have that kind of tell you a little bit about what the difference, the changes were. But in this packet, I only gave you guys the ones that were required first, because it would take you forever to get like the rest of it. So just, if you ever need to, just kind of refer to this update and find that specific one, and if you ever have any questions.
Okay. Any public comment regarding agenda items? All right, let's move on to action items. Equity committee member nomination.
So on that, if you just want to approve the ones that seem provided to you, I thought we were putting a board member on it, but I guess.
Well, hang on. Fortunately.
So I don't even know, do they have to take action on it?
No, no.
So we can.
I'm just telling them what.
Right.
Okay.
So we can just.
No, it is now,
Right now.
that originally it was.
That's what I thought.
The board had to, okay, approve the names, and when we met, got, but now it is not. So
Okay, so we can strike 10.
Yes.
Okay. All right, 10.2, adoption of board rules.
The motion to adopt the.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hearing everyone say yes. All right, 10.3, adoption of superintendent evaluation timeline.
Make a motion to adopt superintendent evaluation plan.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Everyone agrees. 10.4, adoption of superintendent board working agreements.
Make a motion to. Superintendent board.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Agrees. Motion passes. Moving forward, 10.5, approve resolution 24-25.
I make a motion to approve resolution of board dash.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. All right. So coming meeting input is review of evaluation template, which is what gave us in our packet today. We'll do that at the next meeting.
I just thought it was a little bit less cumbersome to go through than the OSBA one, and if you guys want to change things or add, take something out of those other 8 and put in here, we can kind of tweak it a little bit, but this is way simpler than what we were. Yeah. Straight to the maneuver, yes, yeah.
All right. Any announcements?
I have a question about the evaluation.
Okay.
It's not so much about. But, do we have an evaluation process for the board and the goals? Versus just like Steve's actions?
Not that I know of. Boards are like amazing.
Yeah. Why
We don't walk.
yell fines.
We could.
I mean, we could probably put something together.
Some districts, I just know from this last meeting too, some districts have each board evaluate themselves. And then it gets reviewed, but it gets reviewed in the public, so, and then who's gonna evaluate that, like that. So there was a lot of people were just like, as long as because ultimately if Katie thinks somebody's doing something that's not correct, it's kind of her job as the board chair to come to that person or to the group and say, hey, we're not doing this correctly, and then there's processes to go through. So it's kind of your board chair and vice chair that kind of are evaluating the board.
Okay.
To keep everybody.
Okay.
It's better give us all five.
I guess I was just thinking of the board roles and that like, I don't feel like it's fair that if the school doesn't meet those goals, that it's only reflected on the superintendent's evaluation, and it's, it would be nice to have a, kind of a growth mindset in terms of those evaluations than just the specific.
Really, what we would need is like the teachers to do probably a survey and maybe put a survey out to like public, to do something like that, because they're the ones that really how we would have to evaluate. Survey.
And then that's one of the things that you guys had brought up last year is going back to having staff be evaluated, for the superintendent, which is what I did in the past week. Picked, especially the people like leadership and then just did some randoms and I just threw it out to them. And then you guys made that feedback. Okay. And so that comes back that we could put something in there as far as the board. I mean, we could put a board one in there
Put a couple more questions in there or something. Survey.
regarding the board.
And can we also put our board goals in there so that they have board goals and all those?
And these will get sent out, and I usually send these out. I try to get them on, we'll get them posted on our website and then remind everybody that they're on there too.
Okay. That's the thing that we can discuss. We want to put together something.
Mhm.
Add a couple of
Mhm.
questions.
Yep, one of those work sessions, too, maybe, when we get together to actually start the evaluation process. If you guys will participate in some of the questions that get asked, too, we'll get to that point. Good. So be thinking about those things now, John.
Yeah.
All right. Good of the order. Let's start with Jared.
Back to school's starting, good to see enrollment numbers, up. as always, sports, get to back in school. My daughter, like, struggles with the no phone all day. You know, I might text her, then she doesn't respond. I'm like, why didn't you get active in this? And then, you know, it's like, oh, that's a good thing. It's
Yeah.
popped up somewhere. So it's good. I think we're in a good spot starting here. So
Justin.
All that.
School.
Yeah, at school going. Catching Saturday back in school, yeah. It's been- Cell phones hasn't been all the time, I haven't heard. I'd say you got too many kids being upset about it, so that's good. Probably have no problem with it.
Yeah.
Hopefully this, keeps going for the rest of the year. But, it's going good.
Carrie.
Good to hear everything's going good. I don't see our district having any major problems, which compared to a lot of them, that's a wonderful thing. I don't know, our new school district is doing well. The new handrails on the city is a good thing for us old parts trying to get up and down the stairs, you know?
Glad to see all the kids back in school, all of them, they're very happy to be there, it's a friend family. And I really like that we have 4 goals and objectives. I think that's, the path forward in the school district and for that, we're continuing by excellent education.
And I agree with all of that. Definitely glad to see the kids back in school and getting into a routine, and things have been going pretty well. So with that, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.